and welcome to another episode of the Digital Learning Lab for middle school students. We thank you students for taking time out of your day for joining us today, and we hope that you will learn something exciting as we go through online presentations. My name is Stephen Stone, and I am the EdTech Training Coordinator for the district. Before we begin, we want to talk about the chat feature. If you are not able to chat, you just may have to ask your parents to log in, or if you have your own Google account, you can log your personal Google account. You can log in with that. You will not be able to chat with your CFISD login. Okay. And so since we have that out of the way, we want to bring you three fantastic presenters, Amy, and then we have Ryan, and then we have Tammy, and they will be taking you through online presentations. Ladies, are you ready?
Absolutely. Hello.
We're ready.
All right, you all can take it away.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. We are excited that you have decided to join us this morning, and if you're returning, welcome back. As Stephen said, my name is Mrs. McLaughlin, and I am joined by my two techie friends, Mrs. Ferguson and Mrs. Kiner. And today we are really excited to show you guys how to make a interactive story using PowerPoint. So we're actually really lucky because Mrs. Ferguson over here is like Microsoft queen. So I'm excited to learn some stuff from Mrs. Ferguson. And I see an eye patch.
Well, I thought because we were all about pirates today that I would dress up for the part. So you like it?
Yes, love it.
And so since we are the 20th century, I actually think we need to add one more piece of accessory to the pirates, because you know when you're on a ship, you got all that social distancing issues and you don't want to spread your germs. So if you're on a ship, this is the new look for pirates.
Awesome, Mrs. Ferguson. I like how prepared you are.
I can't get it to stick.
I mean,
there we go. Now I got the eye patch. I am ready to be a modern pirate with you today. Teach you some EdTech stuff.
Wonderful. So we're actually going to look at a presentation, a story that we built. And when I was growing up, we had these cool books that were like a choose your own adventure. So like on page 1, you could start out with Captain Jack Sparrow is on the ship. And if you wanted to go to an island, you could turn to page 50. And if you wanted to look for buried treasure, you could turn to page 30. And so you kind of got to work your way through the story by yourself. You got to choose. And so that's actually what we've made for you guys. So we're going to start out by showing you just a little bit of it. And then we're actually going to give you the link to this so you can finish playing at the end of this. So does that sound like a good idea to you guys?
Sounds awesome. Show us. I want to see it.
Okay.
Show us what we made.
So
Ready.
Slideshow. Now make sure you listen too, because there's some really cool stuff going on.
You are the first mate to the notorious captain of the Blue Seas. He is a pirate of the Galveston Bay. Everything on this journey has been going well until tonight. A storm broke out, tearing your ship apart and sending you and all your crew into the ocean with the sharks. You must find some way to survive this.
Oh, now that's pretty.
A bright light wakes you in the morning. You have made it ashore. It is a beautiful island and it looks deserted. What do you do?
Okay, so we have some options here, ladies. Which one do we want to try?
Who cares about the other stuff? Let's go for the gold.
Absolutely.
We want money. Let's go. All right. So
I'm ready for that treasure map, Miss McLaughlin.
Yes. All right. So let's click Hunt for Treasure. Okay. So clearly this is not the first ship that has wrecked here. We see this bottle with this rolled up piece of paper. So let's click to see if we can get the map out of it. And boom, there it is. So now it says click the map to put it back in the bottle. So we are going to hunt for this treasure. And X always marks the spot. So I'm going to click my X. Okay, I've got two options here. Do I go left or do I go right? Because there's two trails leading away from the beach. Which way should I go?
Left. I think left.
Left. Okay, no, don't want to go left. Because we got
Maybe that was a bad idea after all.
Bad
Back up
idea.
slowly.
back to the beach.
Ah,
So now
snakes.
we're going to go right, away from the snake. So we find a hill. I'm following my arrows. Okay, so I come across this cave and I need to look in the darkness because in the darkness it says I see something.
I
Oh,
see nothing.
What is that? Looks like a rock.
let's see. It's the
What
treasure.
is the treasure?
No, I'm good. I'm set for life now. Now we can go get rescued.
So now that we have all the money, we can go back to that main menu and maybe we can decide to find the captain or maybe be rescued. I don't know. I don't know which one we want to do. So,
Okay, so Miss McLaughlin, how do these kids create something just like that?
so here's how we're going to run through this. I'm going to show you guys kind of a few things that I worked on because I'm not necessarily the Microsoft person. Mrs. Kiner and Mrs. Ferguson definitely are. So I'm going to show you guys how I brought in some pictures, how I messed with the text a little bit, and a few other things.
Before
So
you do that, Miss McLaughlin, can you show the kids how to get to PowerPoint online?
I definitely can. So whenever I open up a new tab, I'm going to go to Mrs. Ferguson. What was that link that you told me to go to again?
You know what I do? I just Google PowerPoint online and click the link. But if you wanted to, you could go to office.com and do it the normal way. But
We don't like normal.
no, with Googling it works. Just go to PowerPoint online, click, bam, you're in.
I like it. I mean, it's super easy for me. Okay, so I actually have our Thursday one up for today because today is Thursday, right? We're on Thursday, right?
All day long.
This Thursday.
Okay, so in this original one that we showed you guys, we had this really kind of creepy looking pirate ship with the full moon going on in the background. I like to Google for these images. So I'm going to
Just
open.
because you're a Google queen, we got it.
Yes. So I'm going to say ship at night with moon. I'm going to put PNG at the end. Now what that does is it's going to bring up images that are transparent. And let me see if I can find. Okay, well, here's the picture I want, but I don't want all of these bricks.
That's cool though, you gotta say. You could put
Oh,
that
I
on a
do.
black background. That would look awesome.
It would. So I kind of planned and I found it.
Oh,
There it is.
you're a planner. That's
I
awesome.
am. I can't help it. I plan everything.
Gotta be ready.
Yes. So I'm going to right click on this image. I'm going to say copy image. I'm going to come back to my PowerPoint. And just like I told you guys, whenever we were doing slides, Google Slides, I delete the text boxes because I like a nice blank canvas to work on. So I'm going to hit Control V, which is my paste. And then I'm going to grab the corners of my image and I'm just going to stretch this image out until it fills up this slide completely. And now I know I have it centered because I got my crosshairs, they're centered, boom. Okay, so now we're centered on this slide. Now, before I brought this image in, there was a piece of text down here. It got it got covered by this image. So I need to send this image backwards. So I'm going to right click the image. I'm going to say send to back. So now anything that was behind it comes forward. Okay.
So I have a question about this text. You know how when you Googled again, you couldn't find your picture?
Yes.
Can you show us how to capture that image address so you can A, cite your sources, but B, find that image again when you are looking for that exact same image?
Absolutely. So whenever I did the right click to copy the image, I actually am going to copy the image address And then I'm going to come into my PowerPoint, and we actually made a slide for all of our sources. So you can see on slide 1, here is that image address that I grabbed from offline. So we always need to cite our sources because we're good digital citizens and we always want to give credit where credit's due. So
That makes you more credible.
Guys, giving credit makes you more credible. That was a really good question, Mrs. Ferguson.
Yeah, I get them every now and then.
You do. So now that I have my image, I need my title. So I'm going to go to insert and I'm going to go to text box. So I'm just going to throw this text box in here. And it was choose your own adventure. And what do you guys think of this text?
It looks a little dark. I know this is supposed to be dark, but I can't read that.
Okay, so let's go to home. I'm going to change my text color. Let's go with this kind of off-white color right here, this beige. Now, what do you think of the font?
It's terrible. I think it should, what, do we have a piratey looking font maybe? Something or eerie, or it looks kind of scary and dark out there.
Definitely, we definitely do. So I use this black adder right here. And it made it that kind of old-timey looking font, but now it's really small, so I need to make it much bigger.
I think you should go a little brighter. It's still not standing out.
Okay, so what if I did just like bright white?
Yep. It looks like the moon. We're good. Oh yeah, that's better.
I like it. I really like this. And then I continued to put more text in. I did the exact same thing, you guys. So I'm just going to jump to the next thing that I did, which is kind of fun. So I'm going to jump down to slide 5. And you know the 2 arrows that I had here? So I actually drew those in PowerPoint online because it's cool that way. So here's how you do that. So I'm going to come up here to draw. And I'm going to pick my pen. Now, whenever I do this, I'm going to change the thickness a little bit to make it a little thicker because I don't want it super skinny. And then I'm going to change the color. And now I want to draw my arrow leading to the left, okay? So if I wanted to take off the draw tools, I need to come back up here and click the mouse, which allows me to select. But here's the thing about the way that I drew this. Because I kept picking up my pencil, basically that pen, I have 4 different images here. So I want to group them all together so I can move them as one piece. So I'm going to just select the different pieces while holding down the control key on my keyboard. And then I'm going to right click and I'm going to select group. So what that did, now you can see that I can move this arrow around all in one piece instead of moving 4 different pieces around and trying to change it. And if I wanted to change the size, they all change at the same rate. So they all stay proportional to each other.
Ooh, that sounds like a math term.
It is. Not a math person, but it totally is. So what do you guys think of that so far?
So far, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So tell us about the gold.
Yes, because we all want to know about the money, right? We all want to know about this gold.
It's
all right.
all about the money.
If you remember, when we went through and played the story, when we went through the story, we clicked on this small chest, the treasure chest, and brought this really big treasure chest. It zoomed in. So that's actually an animation. So this is an image that I Googled because Google. And I brought it into this presentation and I added an animation to it. So I'm going to click on it so you can kind of see my 4 my dots around it that say that I have selected this image. And I'm going to come up here to animations and it lets me decide which ones I want to have it do. So I could click through each one of these and try them out. But the one that I did the zoom. So whenever I click on it, it should zoom in and then zoom back out. So let's see from current slide. Oh, it kind of got jumpy on me, but it zoomed in. It zoomed and it flew really far in, and then it just kind of landed.
I saw it. It was zooming for me.
Okay, awesome. Because we had just like, boop. It was just like, you have gold. Mrs. Ferguson, there's a shark. You have a shark. Shark.
Da, 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 da,
The sharks are coming.
The sharks are coming. The sharks are coming. So what do you guys think about those tools that I showed in PowerPoint?
I love it. So Miss Kiner, you have even more to show us. So tell us what you have. Oh, just a sec. We have time for something.
Wait. I think it's time for a break.
It is. We
We
have
have
to have
time
a
for a
brain break.
Okay, so last week we did the pinky and we did the nose and the ear, right?
Mhm.
And I saw a lot of people posting about that like they mastered it. So I want to try, like they're masters, they got this. So I want to try something that some people might already know, but we're gonna flip it a little bit. So dominant hand. So like I'm right-handed, so I have my right hand.
Technically, that would be this one over here.
Well, okay, yes, but this is my right hand. This is what I write with. So with my dominant hand, with my right hand, I'm going to pat the top of my head, okay? And then with my non-dominant hand, I'm going to rub my belly, okay? So here's where the tricky part comes in. I'm going to switch these. So I'm gonna put my non-dominant hand patting my head and my dominant hand rubbing my belly. So you kind of have to, yeah, some people like start.
It's hard to do opposite directions.
Yes, it takes a little bit of concentration to flip those around, especially when we're not used to, we've started something with it and then we switch to our non-dominant hand.
That's called becoming ambidextrous.
Yes, we all want to be ambidextrous.
We do. All right. Is it
I'm gonna get them both going.
okay? Do we want to jump into the next part of our adventure?
We can jump into
Absolutely.
the sharks.
Let's dive on in.
I think I want to dive away from those sharks floating around Miss Ferguson over there.
I like to swim with the dolphins or sharks, whatever.
All right. So on this slide, so Miss McLaughlin showed you a lot of really neat tricks on animation and drawing with the draw tools. And now I'm going to show you some tips and tricks with getting images. Images not from Google. So we're going to find another way to find images.
Wait, you think there's another way to find an image?
I thought it was only Google.
Who would have thought?
Only Google.
Absolutely. And then we're going to talk more about that. She talked a little bit about layering, but I'm going to go in and show you a little more about that. Okay, so that's how you can make these different scenes that we made. We had to layer different images on top of each other, and you want to order them in the right way. So in this part of the story, this is the part where if you choose, the person is going to try to be rescued. So what they decide to do is get a mirror to have a catch the reflection and shoot it over, direct it over toward the ship to get their attention. Have you ever seen that in a movie where they're like, oh, I'm going to get their attention with the light reflecting off my mirror so they can come and save me?
Yeah, I used to do that like as a kid in the back seat with like a CD and like mess with
Blind
my
other
mom
drivers.
driving. I mean, I never did that.
No, we were good children.
Yes.
You never know if you'll have a CD in your pocket and it'll help you get rescued from a
These
deserted
kids
island.
don't even know what a CD is.
Am I?
So how did I do this? Okay, so help save us. Oh, I think I learned reflection in science class. I think I have a mirror in my pocket. So I'm going to go ahead right now and show you how I create it. I'm going to delete the mirror. I'm going to click here and I'm going to delete this mirror and I'm going to delete this reflection. So they were layered on top of each other. So I'm going to first get the mirror and I'm going to go to insert And I go to pictures. You could have a picture on your computer or on your device in OneDrive. Could be from Google, but we're going to go to Bing Images.
Yeah, Microsoft.
That's right. And I'm going to type in mirror and look at all the choices I get. And you know, another great thing about searching within your PowerPoint Online, is you have this little checkbox and you want to leave it checked because it shows you images that are free to use with permission with a Creative Commons license. So we're going to go ahead and leave that checked. And you know, I don't see the exact oval mirror that I want, but this mirror looks good. So let me go ahead and click on this one and I'm going to try it. So it's going to drop here. Oh, what do you notice about this one though?
It's not transparent, Mrs. Kiner.
Well, you could crop it, I guess, but it'd be easier to find a transparent one.
Yeah, and Miss McLaughlin showed us a really cool trick by adding PNG for ping when you go on Google, but we have another little trick here in our pictures. So when we go back to insert pictures and I go back to Bing, we're going to search one more time. And this time we're going to use this filter. So you have this little funnel, that's a filter. And now I can tell it to only look for transparent images. Pretty cool.
There you go.
There you go. And so these are all going to be transparent backgrounds. So here's one that is oval, looks a lot like the one I had just a minute ago. And I'm going to drag it over. And let me click off of it. And I want to shrink it. And I want to get rid of this. And now I'm just going to drag it over and turn it. And you can see that my arrows are now behind. So I drew these arrows with a shape tool. You can see those are here. I already have those drawn, so I want to bring them in front. So here we have the layer. We have the background on the very bottom layer. And right now we have the arrows and then we have the mirror. But what we want to do is bring those arrows in front of the mirror, or I can send this just behind it. So if I say send backward, look, there's that one arrow. It's already on top. So I am layering. And then if I click on this arrow, it doesn't want to come forward, but I can right mouse click right on that arrow and I can say bring forward. And there it is.
Cool. So
Yeah.
your sun looks a little wonky. What happened with that?
It does look a little wonky. It's got a big circle around it. I kind of want to make it look more like the sun with a little aura around it. So I'm going to click on that and get rid of these edges. So I'm going to click on my picture and I am going to go to my picture tools. So I need to click on picture right here. And I have these really nice style tools. So I'm going to click on this drop down and I am going to click on soft edge oval. And that's going to soften those edges. And then the other thing I can do is I can even go ahead and crop this a little bit. And it'll make it a little bit nicer.
Are you able to crop to a shape in online?
Well, that looks pretty good. You can a little bit. So the first thing I thought about doing was using a shape here because I was thinking, oh, it'd be cool to get it to reflect a little bit. So I went to insert shapes and I wanted to make my little reflection there kind of like a diamond. But what I noticed when I did that, and I could make it yellow, is when I went up here into that cool little blur tool that I just got, it didn't have that option. So since I couldn't do that, I want to show you another little trick with pictures.
Wait, so you can like create your own picture if you can't find exactly what you're looking for?
Absolutely, you can do that.
That's awesome.
Your
All
sun
right.
actually looks pretty real.
It does.
It does look good. Sunny outside today too. All
It
right.
is.
It's beautiful. So I'm going to go to insert picture. I'm going to go back to my Bing images. And remember I wanted a diamond. I'm going to type diamond here to search for that picture. I'm leaving it on Creative Commons. But look at all they're really nice pictures, but they're photographs mostly of diamonds. And then they're also red some clip art here, which would work, but I can't change the color there. So I'm going to use that filter choice again. So instead of these photos, what I want is clip art. Here you can see I can choose only diamonds that are clip art. So this is better. I'm getting more choices, but what color did I want?
Yellow.
Yellow. So what's really awesome is here at the bottom, I just scroll down. I can choose the color that I want. So I'm going to choose the color and look at all those choices I get. That's awesome. That's such a quick, speedy trick. So use your filters and use your PowerPoint online pictures. So I'm going to go ahead and choose this one. I'm going to choose insert. I'm going to move this over just a little bit. And hang on one second. I'm going to click here on the image. I'm going to crop off these borders. So again, I'm going to click on remember to click on your picture toolbar here at the top. And that's going to give you your cropping tool. And I'm going to crop these images off, and it's not going to, it's like, uh-oh, my diamond's disappearing. But you know, what's kind of cool about a diamond is it's a square. And so now I can just turn that and shrink that, and it looks pretty much like a diamond, not perfect. But I'm going to drag it here, and now I'm going to use that blur tool trick. So now I made a shape, but now I can use this picture toolbar that I used for here, go into my styles and choose this blur. And there is my reflection. Voila.
Yay, that's pretty awesome.
Awesome.
So I did some layering, I did some cropping, I did some cool image search tricks, and you can put something really awesome together in your presentation.
Yay. And guess what time it is now?
Brain break.
Woo! I think it's time for a brain break.
Okay, remember you guys out in YouTube land, if you have questions for us, we're happy to answer them for you. So just put them in the chat. And that's why we have these little brain breaks for people that are moving a little bit behind us because they back the YouTube up a little bit. If you want to do that, then it gives you a little chance to catch up. And we have these little brain breaks, kind of let your brain absorb what you need to, and then you can come back in with us. So what do we have, Mr. Kiner?
Yeah, we have some word puzzles today. How about this one?
So out in YouTube, what do we have here? Got a file and an arrow. What does that mean?
File going.
Is it single file?
File going forward.
Yeah, there you go. File going forward. File going up. File up, up file.
So
I don't know.
Upload your file.
There we go.
That makes sense. File upload.
I'm still going with single file because I'm always right.
Yes, Mrs. Ferguson, you are.
All right, how about this one?
Like running in my head is Dory from Finding Nemo saying escape. Like that's
escape, yes, escape.
Escape. Absolutely. Do you see another word in there?
I see pace, but I don't know what ECAP means. ECAP pace.
Yeah, I see pace as well. Wait. So if
there's an arrow, What does that arrow mean?
No, so now I see pace twice. So pace is going forwards, and then you also see pace going backwards, right?
This is true. I'm giving
Pacing
you
forward and backward.
Pacing back and forth. Excellent.
Ah, there you go.
Good job, Miss McLaughlin. You had on your thinking cap.
Woo, I do.
All
I
right.
had one too. I said single file.
You did. You did. And that was perfect, Miss Ferguson.
Okay, go.
There's more than one answer to a lot of.
We'll go with that.
All right. Go.
I don't know.
What color is the E?
Red E, go.
Well, red E, and now there's two goes. So red E, two go.
Ready to go.
Yes.
Are you ready to go?
I am ready to go. Let's do this.
So let's
leave it up to the language arts people to figure that out.
Woo!
All right. I think we're ready to go on to Miss Ferguson with some awesome PowerPoint
Absolutely.
online and desktop, right?
Well, we're going to start with you. Oh, the first thing that I wanted to point out was we kind of skipped this at the very beginning. And oh yeah, Logan said, ready to go. Yay, Logan.
Good job, Logan.
Woohoo!
So what I wanted to point out was in this YouTube, and Miss McLaughlin was like, oh, I forgot to do this. So she gave me a text. So I said, no, I got you, girl.
I
So-
did. My bad. Sorry.
Yeah, because we forgot to tell you this, I'm very quickly going to remind you that this little red dot is your friend. Wow. You can send it back to the beginning if you come in a little bit late. That means you'll be running behind us, and you can totally do that. You can also get to a point when you're like, oh, I need to hear that again. Back it up. Hear it again. Hear it again as many times as you want. And when you're watching this later, do it again later. Absolutely. And again, some of us talk faster, some of us listen faster, some of us talk slow, some of us listen slow. So YouTube gives you the power of playback speed. Right now, we're all talking normal, and of course, normal's overrated. So if you're going to watch YouTube the way I watch YouTube, that's in 2. I kind of wish they had a 2.5 sometimes, but anywho.
That's
if
true
you're-
for you, Miss Ferguson. Blah, 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 blah.
Hey, I talk fast, you got to listen fast. But for those of you that need us to slow down a little bit, feel free to slow us down a little bit so we're a little less than normal, but that's okay. Anyway, taking you back over to our PowerPoint that we've been working on. Let's take you over here. Sorry, I was closing things out. So this is where we've been working online. And
Mrs. Ferguson,
yes.
I have mine up. So am I looking at mine, or are we seeing your screen?
Oh, did I forget to share after all that?
I mean, I jumped in and showed YouTube, so you're good.
You're so on top of it.
You were helping me out. So
Took care of business here.
It takes teamwork. It
Yes,
always
it does.
great work.
Yeah, that's why there's 3 of us to do one show because one of us can't do it.
Not true. Not true.
Thanks
You're
for
awesome,
stepping in
Miss
there. All right, so right here we have this PowerPoint online, and of course I have way too many tabs, but we're just going to overlook that. And what I have right here is I can see where everybody's kind of working and what they've been working on. And PowerPoint has a lot of great tools when they're online. Basically, probably 90% of what you would want to do, maybe even 100% of what you want to do is completely online. However, we showed you some things in our little adventure today that can't be done with the online. And that's because if PowerPoint would put all of their features online, they'd probably break the internet. At the very least, your computer, odds are, wouldn't be able to run unless you have like one of those super duper computers, one of those gaming computers with like 16 or 32 gigs of RAM. Most of us don't have that. So we can't run those kind of big programs, and we have to kind of take them offline and be able to use them on your desktop. So if you look right here in PowerPoint Online, it says open in desktop app. So you just simply have to click it. And when you click it, it opens up onto your desktop. And here it is.
So,
Now,
Mrs. Ferguson,
yes.
I know that all 3 of us were working on this. I know Mrs. Kiner and I were working on the online version together this morning. So everything that we did this morning, does it show up in the desktop app?
It does. Look where my mouse is right now. It tells me that Miss Kiner is in this presentation right now. And here's what else it tells me. See these little stars? That means that this slide has been edited while I was away. And I can see that you did all these edits right here. In fact, I can see that Miss Kiner is still on slide number 9. So she still has something clicked on number 9. And if I scroll through, you're not clicked on anything right now, but I can tell that you did some changes on some slides. So it tells me that, and when I actually click on it, it tells me exactly what you edited and how long ago you edited. And here's what's cool. I can make changes right now and they will show up on your screen. Internet speed dependent, of course, and mine's kind of adequate right now. So it might have a little lag if you have slow internet, but if you have super duper fast internet, when I put things on this desktop, it shows up on online. And same with what happens online, pops right up on my desktop. But again, it's depending on the speed of your internet as to how fast that goes. So let me show you some really cool nifty tricks that we have in place. And one of those things, as you can see up at the top of my screen, I already have my drawing tools open. And if you remember the drawing tools online, there were less to choose from. There's more to choose from. And I can
add. Do I see glitter? I see glitter and teal. Glitter and teal.
Yeah. You do see glitter. That's a glitter pen. Woohoo. Okay, so speaking of all these different types of pen, you have a choice of this one is a highlighter, and I can make my highlighter super thick. That's how big my pen will be, or I can make it thin. I have more colors. In fact, I can custom my colors to be very specific based on this palette right here and change them. Now, yes, if I click on the pen, not only do I have all these custom colors, but I have glitter.
Ooh, and there's a rainbow.
There is. So
and
check
teal.
this out. So with my mouse, I drew a little nose. And then I can change my color if I want. And this is my C right here. Wow, I'm not really good at coloring with mouse, so I'm just going to pick up my stylus. There we go. So I can use my little glitter. I'm not sure how clear that is. But when we were drawing on your thing earlier that we showed you, I actually used the gold glitter pen. So when I go back over to my screen and I drew this on, and I'm not sure how thick I was doing it. Yep, I'm at the thickest. And then I drew X marks the spot with the gold. And we chose the gold because it kind of fits with our theme. We're looking for the gold. But I learned something about Miss Kiner.
Uh-oh, what?
I learned you like rainbows.
Woo, I do like that.
There's a pen for you too. So you get the rainbow pen. And we'll give Miss McLaughlin the teal. Check this out. This rainbow pen is so awesome.
That's so cool.
Yes. And I know that the guys out there right now are going, that's for sissies. No, no, no. I know deep down you like the glitter. The glitter is all you. And even this little galaxy glitter right here. How cool is that? I just love it.
Okay, galaxy. I like that.
Yeah, I think I may have trashed your slide, Miss McLaughlin.
Yeah, kind of.
Well, there's a good thing. There's an undo button. Undo, 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 undo.
Good. Good.
All right.
Yeah, so these are objects, so I can delete the things that I add in there and just delete, delete. So there we go. So now I just have the X. I cleaned it back up for you. I didn't mess your slide up totally.
Well, I appreciate that. That's called being a good person.
Well, I have moments. Now, speaking of being a good person, I don't think we give our sharks enough credit here. So we had a shark in our presentation earlier, and that little shark swam across the screen. You guys remember that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, he was a 3D model. Check this out. I can see all sides of this little non-fishy thing. Did you guys know that sharks are not fish?
What?
Sharks are not fish.
What are they?
They're sharks. Yeah, sharks have cartilage. Fish have bones. So there you go.
Oh,
all right. So my little shark right here is a 3D model. And thank you, PowerPoint. I can click on insert. What happened to my screen? I think my screen went a little wonky. I'm going to click on insert. And when I click on insert, you'll notice right up here at the top, I have 3D models. I can, if I'm one of those people that like to make my own models, and there's lots of places online where you can make your own models. And we even have on your computer, sorry, Apple, not Apple. I can write Paint 3D and it pops up, but not an Apple. Sorry. So if you have a regular computer, you can make your own models in Paint 3D and you can insert them right here. Now, for those of you that are not into making models, PowerPoint's got you. You can go and click on the online sources and voila, you get all these. Look at them all. They're so amazing. This is a screen of white instead of the screen of blue death.
Here we go. Here they are.
So we have a bunch of different categories, and inside those categories, there's like a zillion different models in there. Now, this is what's cool that I love. Some of them are already animated for you, and they look pretty realistic. And you can tell because they have a little running man. Any with a little running man is an animated model. So I'm going to click on this, and these are the little animals that are animated. And I'm going to click on this one. This is like my favorite one. And I'm going to click on a second one. So I can actually insert more than one. And then when I click insert, it comes in. Again, it's dependent on your internet connection because it's pulling from the internet. Now, before you go all nutso, do not add a ton of models to your screen, because what happens is each model has it's like a file with a certain file size. And if you have a ton of models in there, it can take up and make your PowerPoint kind of unstable. So we don't want to add more than 3 to 4 models to a presentation, because then it gets too big, it becomes huge to upload and all that other good stuff. So here
you're saying don't upload more than 3 or 4 in the whole presentation, or like in one slide?
In the whole presentation. One day I went a little crazy just to see how long it would take before my PowerPoint became unstable. And I realized that depending on how many animations you add yourself, because you add animations, it takes up more file space. So it really depends. Plain models, you can probably add up to 6. Animated models, not so many. So
cool.
What I'm doing right now is I'm clicking on these guys so I can drag them away from each other. Because remember, I added 2. I added my little swimming fish. Let me put them down there so you can see them. And then I added my juggling octopus. And again, I can turn my little octopus. And when I let go, he continues to play and juggle away. Yay! So once I have a model that I like, all I have to do is Control C and Control V to copy and paste it. Now I have 2 charts.
Wow.
And if I decide that there's a model that I want, I just simply delete. So I'm going to leave my little fishy swimming there because that's going to be food for my sharks.
Yep. You were about to go over your limit on 3D models in one slide too.
You were.
And that's all you did the whole presentation.
Okay, so when you looked at this model, we actually saw that it was going to be, I'm not sure what happened here. Why is my screen all bunched up to the left? I've never seen that before. Anywho, right here it says the word animation. Can you totally see that says animation right there?
I see A and I.
Perfect.
Yeah. On a normal screen, that's all spread out, but for some reason mine's all squished up, and I'm not sure what happened and how I did that.
You're
But when I don't know. When I copy and paste it, all of the animations, so I can click on the animation pane right here, all the animations that I saved with the first one are automatically saved with the second one. And I actually added an animation, so I'm going to click on this one right here and delete it so I can show you that I can add my own animations and make it move where I want it. So what I'm going to do with this little guy right here is I'm going to add an animation. I can't just click up here when there's already one because it'll replace it. So I'm going to add an animation. That's a second animation. And in this case, I made it move, and I made it move in a custom path. So I'm going to have the guy start out of screen, come back in the screen, and there we go. Now that moved really fast, don't you think? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase that. So it takes like 7 seconds. So it slowly moves more like the way a shark moves across. And it says on click. I don't want it to be on click. I want it to do it automatically when the slide comes up. So I don't have to tell the PowerPoint to do anything. So when I click on it, it will squim across the screen. So I'm going to go up to the top and I'm going to play so you can see what my animations are doing.
Everything on this journey has been going well until tonight. A storm broke out, tearing your ship apart and sending you and all your crew into the ocean with the shark.
I think my little shark down here wasn't visible because I had him too low. So let me go ahead and move him up. And I'm actually going to show you that you can change your scene. So I can change my scene. and he can swim around. So when you guys saw that shark in the background, this was the scene that I chose. And then of course there's the hungry. Yeah. So if you want to add this to your Zoom backgrounds, this is how you do it. You just put them in there. So I'm going to change the scene of him. Come on. All right, hold on. Delete that sucker. Copy it again. Control C, Control V. There we go. So this guy right here, I am messing up. There we go. And of course, we want to make him a baby shark. Okay, where's the sound back?
It's Ferguson.
Oh, I need the soundtrack.
We do.
Okay, so this baby shark, I just made him hungry. Again, I've had him off the screen. I need to learn to stop doing that. Let's
So it's like the hungry hippos, except with sharks.
Yes. So I'm going to put him up here. Oh, I need to move him over here. There you go. There's my hungry shark, and he's going to eat it.
He is.
He's going to eat the ship. All right. So the other thing that you heard that was playing automatically was the soundtracks that I added. So in addition to adding 3D models, you can add your own sound. In fact, you can add your own videos too if you really wanted to. You simply click on insert up at the top, and here's your media. Click the down arrow, and you can insert your video, online videos, or if you have enough video that you have on your own computer, you can do the same thing with audio. So the thunder and lightning you heard in the background was an audio I uploaded, and then an audio on my PC. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. And I can actually record my own audio. So here's what I'm going to do right now. I'll show you how this works. I did test it to make sure it still works with Zoom. So you guys ready? I'm going to click the little red dot, and then I'm going to go blah, 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 sharks. All right. Yeah, that was special. That was 8 seconds of specialness.
That was like sharks in Halloween all rolled up during, May.
Yeah. My children are always embarrassed by me. All right, so I'm going to double click on that. And if it was a video, I may want to change my format right here where I can actually put my video inside here, but obviously I don't want to do sound. So you can actually put your video inside like a picture frame or a round picture frame or whatever. It's kind of cool. But I'm going to click on playback. Now, obviously I added a bunch of stuff in there that I really don't want. So do you want to hear all that funness again? I'm going to click that little red dot, and then I'm going to go blah, 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 sharks. There's some of that I probably want to delete. So I just take the little slider, and I can make it shorter now. Oh, I probably want to make sure I get the end of that funness. And so this is all that's going to be captured between there and there. I click. All right, you guys ready for all this fun that I added onto my screen?
We're ready.
Yes.
Oh, I have a problem. This is by mouse click. I don't want that. So let's go back. Hey, look, it fixed up there. Huh, cool. All right, I'm going to click on here. It's going to play automatically, and I'm going to click on to with everything else. And that means that it is right here with the rest of it. And I'm going to click my little slideshow. Are you guys ready for all the fun?
Yes.
Well, Miss McLaughlin, I think, is a little hesitant, but we're going to see.
Blah, 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 blah. Sharks. Everything on this journey has been going well.
Oh, that was cracking me up. I hope somebody else had a laugh other than me.
I mean, oh, Mrs. Ferguson.
Hey, Miss Ferguson.
Yes.
We have about 10 minutes left.
I do. And you know what? I'm thinking that I am wrapping it up. I have one more thing left to show you guys right here.
Well, is it linking to other slides? We did have that question in the chat.
Yes, and that's exactly what I'm going to address right here. So back up on slide 1 that Miss McLaughlin made all beautiful again. You may remember us working on this. In fact, look, it's outlined. That's what she had done 37 minutes ago. So I'm going to show you what to do with these buttons. I want to make the button a little bigger so it's a little more visible for you. And this allows you to be able to take control of your presentation. So you choose your own adventure. That's the whole point of this. So this button here, let me show you how to make it. Click on insert and you click a shape. I tend to pick this shape. Literally, you can pick any shape you want as a button. But when you want it to be like a menu button, I click those. Stick that in there. and it comes up as blue. I can change the color. Again, I have all of my fields that I can choose from, but if I want it to match something exactly, I can do the eyedropper and boom, we're good. Now, if you're happy with this button, the way it looks, you can go ahead, click on your button, click on insert, click on action, and you tell it where to jump to. I'm going to caution against choosing next slide, because if somebody adds another slide in between the slide you want it to jump to, you're like, oops, it's not the next slide anymore. I want you to go ahead and select, even if it's slide 2 and it is the next slide, go ahead and pick the actual slide number, because PowerPoint will remember that, oh, it's this slide. It doesn't matter what number it becomes. It will always be this slide that it links to. Then click OK and click OK. Now, if you're okay with that, and that's what your button wants to be, that's cool. You probably want to put text in it. So just double click and you start typing button for now. And of course, just like we showed you earlier, where you can change the font and all that other good stuff, you can do that. Now, if you're good with that, then awesome. If you want it to look more 3D-ish and more contoured, let me show you how to do that. Okay, you're going to click up on format. And you can choose these options right here, but if you want the menu, click right here. So let me close out my animation pane menu. So you can see right here, there's my paint, and here's my fun stuff. These are all the things you can do. You can add a shadow to it, a reflection, you can make it glow. I wouldn't recommend for a button soft edges, but that option is there. This is what I want to show you right here. This is how you make it look all contoured. So I can choose on the down arrow one of these buttons. These are all really cool buttons. So to make it match the other one, I'm going to show you that's what the one you're going to choose. You can even do the same thing with a bottom bevel so that you actually have it 3D'd from 2 angles. Now notice it defaults with a 6 point. That's not a lot. So I tend to make the top number bigger than the other number significantly. You can see as I was doing that, that was showing up down there. And same thing with the bottom. Right. So it looks a lot like the other one, doesn't it? But there's still more fun stuff. I can change the material. So I can change it to be one of these. And we can see it change the slide. I don't like it. Undo. And the lighting. I can change the lighting to be kind of contrasty or kind of metallic. And there's your button. What do you guys think?
I love it. Looks awesome.
Yeah, doesn't it actually look like a button? And then you stick it where you want. And then, of course, it's already linked. And it says right there. Oops, I'm going to try to show you again. Just click off. It says it's going to jump to slide 9. And this one's going to jump to slide 3, which is wrong, by the way. But anyway, we'll ignore that. I fixed it in the one that you guys are watching because this is our playground. And those are your buttons. Now, one last thing. It's still part of buttons. You can make pictures as buttons. And we already showed you how to remove the background, but it's the same thing. You can put a text box over top of it and you just insert this and then you click your action and you can click here and tell it where you want to jump to. Again, slide and so on. So our picture becomes the button. And I think it was slide 4 was the treasure, wasn't it? No.
Yes.
The treasure was the other one. I can't remember. Anywho, so you just pick, that works. And you just pick the one you want it to jump to, and then you're good to go. And then once you've set it up, all you have to do is Control C, Control V, and then you have 2 buttons. And this one you have to reset to be to somewhere else, so you change the action. But literally once, whatever you set one object to and you copy and paste it, everything is copied, including your animations. All right, you know what time it is now?
Is it time for a brain break?
It is. So did we have any other questions that are coming up on the chat?
We did not, no.
Okay, so while we're doing this brain break, if you have questions, pop them in the chat. We'll be happy to answer. While we're waiting for that to come in, I have one last brain break. And of course, a celebration of PowerPoint. I had to put it PowerPoint. Haha.
Always, always.
Yeah, well, except for you, your Google Slides, but that's cool.
Woo.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you to spot the difference. So Simpsons, right? Are they the same? They look the same at the surface, but they're not the same. What's the difference?
One thing I noticed is Lisa's necklace is gone.
Yeah, I think she's got mumps.
Oh, yeah. And the
Same
mom.
with mom. She's got
Yeah,
a big
they
old
just
mump.
changed the color of their necklaces to match like their skin color.
They did. That's kind of nasty looking. But anywho, look at little Miss. What's her face right here? What is her name? Maggie.
Maggie,
Goodness.
yeah.
Look,
Oh, the
yeah.
ball. Wow.
And then of course we have no window here and a window here.
Wow.
All right.
Those
This
were
was my favorite show when I was like younger.
That was a
I
good
like-
movie.
I like the girl with the ginormous eyes.
Hey, look at the tooth. I already see one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the tooth. He's got one like super long hanging tooth, vampire tooth. And look at his eyes.
Box on the one is missing the icon on the other.
Oh yeah, there we go. And this is a little more challenging because it's actually a mirror image, but look at the eyes. They're both facing the same direction because it's a mirror image. It should be looking that way.
And they're
It's also-
different colors.
And they're different colors. Yeah. Okay, so one more, guys. My favorites.
Batman.
Because I'm Batman.
You are.
Batman.
There we go. Okay, so what difference do you see? It's hard to mess up perfection here, but anyway, tell me what you see. Pinkies up and both screens. Yay.
Teeth.
Oh yeah, he's got teeth in here. No, he's got angry mouth here and semi-happy mouth. Is Batman ever happy?
No.
Okay, and then down here we're missing something.
You're missing. Wait. Well, yes, but up at the top on
yeah,
one
one,
side, it
two,
only
three.
has like 3 teeth. Yep. Now you have 4.
Yeah, and they're closer together right here. So they moved it over. Okay, cool. So did anything pop up in our chat? Somebody said, Logan said the lip. Logan, you're on fire today.
You know, he is on fire because he said, did you know that more people are killed by falling coconuts than by sharks every year? I never knew that.
Nice
That's
fact.
such an interesting fact.
Ooh, that'll be our brain break next week is interesting, fun facts that you just didn't really want to know. Okay, so Lily's asking, what type of stuff can you put in PowerPoint and can you put that into Google Slides? Yes, if you had, what was it, 2 sessions ago, we did one on Google Slides. We actually did a whole episode. We did do that, right? Am I losing my mind?
No, you're not. Not yet.
Okay. Well, that was a short trip anyway. Yes, if you want to watch our episode a couple weeks ago, we did a lot of these things we did in Google Slides. So yes, you can jump around in Google Slides. You can look for transparent pictures in Google Slides. So there's a lot of stuff in Google Slides that you can do in PowerPoint. PowerPoint is just another tool. Now, each one of those can do different things. For instance, in Google Slides, correct me if I'm wrong, because you're the Google Slides, Miss McLaughlin, you can record now in Google Slides online. Am I correct in that?
Yes.
Okay, and in online PowerPoint, you cannot. So there's some features in one, they're not available in the other. So it's good to explore both tools and be proficient in both tools because that makes you techie savvy.
Yes, we like being tech savvy. Now, Mrs. Ferguson, do you mind if I show our viewers how to actually get to our old sessions, our previous ones that we've done?
Absolutely, let's do that because if we're having questions about other tech tools, then we definitely want them to be able to see what we've already done.
Definitely. So if you go to a Chrome tab, open it up, you're going to type in this web address. So bit.ly/CFISD-DLL for Digital Learning Lab. Okay. That's going to take you to our Digital Learning Lab website. Now we are in middle school, so you're going to click middle, and it's going to take you to our middle school page where you can see the beautiful Mrs. Kiner and Mrs. Ferguson and myself, the techie trio right here. And then if you scroll down, you can actually click on all of our previous sessions. So if you want to know a little bit more about slides, you can click on slides and it's going to drop you right into our Google Slides page that we had with the video from that session. And then if you want to go back, you can go back to the main page and get back to our middle school session to check out some more. And then here is where you can also find, so if I go to PowerPoint online, this is where we dropped that finished game for you guys, the Choose Your Own Adventure. So you can actually click on this and it's going to take you to a new page and it's going to let you click through and you can finish out those adventures.
Cool.
So
So I
that's
hope Lily that answered your question. And we also had, looking here in our, Salvana, hope we answered your question about linking from slides. And Logan, you are going to be the inspiration of our next week's brain break. So we're going to look for all the facts that nobody ever wanted.
On this page are all of our up and coming sessions. So you want to check that out and mark them on your calendar. And below that, you're going to see share what you created. And on share what you created, you're going to choose the middle school form. You're going to click continue because that's going to take you to the form where you're going to type in your name. And you are going to type in what you're going to choose, whether you're a CFISD student or not. If you're not, we still encourage you to share what you created. We would love to see that and share it on our social media sites. If you are in Cypher, we're going to choose yes. We are going to choose our campus. So we do want to know what campus you are at and which session you attended. So next, and we're going to add on today's session, and then we're going to copy paste the link here and whether or not you give permission for your project to be showcased on our EdTech social media outlet. And we have been showcasing those and you can watch for yours. Now also,
it's kind of
Ms. Ferguson, what's that? I'm sorry.
I was going to say, so guess what your project is going to be this week?
What?
I think you guys should make your own. Oh man, I just can't wait to see them. I think you guys should make your own digital adventures so we can see what you can come up with, because I'm sure it's going to be way better than what we have.
I think that's going to be awesome. And I also want to just remind you, when you go to bit.ly/CFISD-DLL on our middle school page on today's PowerPoint online, when you play your game and you get an idea for yours and you create that adventure game in your PowerPoint, you can also submit right here. So we have that link right there for you to get to as well. All right.
Awesome.
So we can't wait to see what you create. And remember to be kind to others. Be kind out there.
Bye, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
We'll see you next week, Thursday, 10:30.